One of the goal of this stream is to tell you all the things that we are working on, as well as to invite you all to apply for our partner program, where we can start giving people closed beta access to some of the features. So to start with, let me give you an overview on how the whole pipeline works. We have the LLM, and before you go into the game world, before you start talking, what is possible just with text in, text out? You type in something, you get back the response. What are the things that goes in within that? And then you add voice. Basically, a voice recognition, speech to text, then the LLM part happens, and then there's text to speech. And after that, you need to do integration with the avatar, which involves the lip sync, character, facial movements, hand gestures. Then you integrate with your game engines or your environment. And finally, when you have deployed it, your character is inside the world. You would expect them to carry out actions and whatnot. So let's go through a little deeper into it. The things that are possible first is that you can give them backstories, so they will know what their prior life was, and you can ask them questions about it. You can add a character backstory. You can choose a voice. We have a variety of options. We integrate with other services as well. We have our own voices that you can choose from. They are all allowed for in a real-time manner. I've created this character here from Attack of Titan that can even also speak in Chinese. Hey there, can you hear me?
Ni zai shuo shen mi?
So now it's speaking in Chinese because I've asked it to. But if I were to remove that, and maybe I'll update that character. Let's see if it speaks in English. I will reset the conversation. Hey, Levi, how are you?
Fine. What do you want?
So Levi is that character. Levi is the character from Attack of Titan who is like, don't mess with me. And so it kind of stays in that character. You can craft any characters or voices. You can provide them different kind of personalities, like their speaking style and their preferences. Maybe they will have a catchphrase. You can choose from a particular preset. You can also craft all of these big 5 personality traits that you can decide, like how agreeable they're going to be, how pushback they will have, how emotional their response is going to be. Are they an extrovert? Are they asking you a lot of questions back or not? Or they're an introvert? You can also add some catchphrases and style of speaking. You can set their mood or emotion, state of mind, which the picture is showing. The emotion wheel, which you can set the character what they are feeling at the particular moment. And based on the conversation, you can see this moving as well, what they are feeling, what is their state of mind currently. So you can set their mind, and while the conversation is going, you can also see how it is changing based on the emotion that they are feeling. They can have long-term memories. Like if you said something 6 months ago, you can ask them, do you remember the time I told you about this thing? And it should give you the response correctly. Long-term memory is basically where you see your chat history. You can save them per user if you want. Like maybe inside the game world, you have the specific ID of the person, only you want to remember from those characters, not from everyone else. So you can add their user IDs that the character should remember from, or maybe just provide it for anyone. And then if you don't like what was discussed, you can remove it from the long-term memory for the character. Very important part is guardrails. You want them to not talk about other areas. Guardrails is twofold. There's a moderation part of it where you don't want it to say certain things, but also you may want it to be very strictly staying in the character or the information that you have provided it, and not go talk about other areas. In that case, you just keep the slider low, where it will stick to the character description and knowledge bank only. This would be good for, let's say, characters that you don't want to be any creative, right? So like even people have been using this for creating like many real world applications where you wanted to stick to the provided information. But if you want it to be a little more creative, you could just turn it up and allow it to create new information, because maybe you didn't give it much information on the backstory or knowledge base. These are in closed beta, or some of it is an open beta that we can allow for people to start using. The knowledge base is augmenting more memory to the LLM. So the LLM has a limited context window, let's say 4,000 tokens, or if you think of bigger models, they have more now. But still, you may have hundreds of thousands of pages of information that you may want the character to know. You can just add that. We support up to like very big file sizes, effectively infinite if you are a partner or enterprise user. This is a new feature that we are working on called narrative design, meaning in games and experiences, you want the character to go through certain steps, and their motivations and personalities may change as the game progresses. So it's effectively like a state machine managed prompt design. Whenever there is a character that has an agenda or a motivation to do certain things, a character can follow a journey of a path, right? Where their motivations and goals and plans can change. And you can think of creating any kind of character here, meaning you can think of a role-playing character that if if achieve certain objectives, their next goals or state of mind may change. For every node, you can pretty much affect all of the other things, like what things that they would know versus not know. You can add in the knowledge bank per node. Would be their state of mind when they reach a particular state? Basically, you can set that. What kind of action abilities they may have? Maybe they will gain the ability to have a new skill, right? You can add that action per node. You can even create an AI tutor here, where the goal is to teach a student a lesson, but you want to go through in various ways about asking them different questions. It's straightforward. You can basically create these nodes where you can add their objectives, what are the decision criteria that will get them to the next node, and then it will flow in. You can see what state they are in as you speak. So once you have done all these text in, text out stuff, then you add a particular voice. So you can, let's say you're going with English, you can choose the voice of the character, how they will sound. Of course, multilingual support has been quite a hit.
यहाँ प्रभावशाली मंदिर प्रतिमा की प्रशंसा करने आए हैं। प्राचीन मंदिर के खंडहरों का अन्वेषण करें और प्रवेश द्वार की सुरक्षा करने वाले शक्तिशाली गार्ड प्रमुखों के बारे में जानें।
Whether you're exploring new worlds or engaging with diverse characters, Convai's multilingual support enables smooth interactions.
こんにちは。
やあ、どんなご用でしょうか。
Bonjour.
Bonjour, comment puis-je vous aider?
Wie geht es dir?
Mir geht es gut, danke. Womit kann ich Ihnen behilflich sein?
We also have a facial expression that changes. If you're saying something good to them, they will smile.
어떻게 지내세요?
잘 지냈어. 물어봐줘서 고마워. 당신은 어떤가요?
We also provide for enterprise users the ability to clone their stuff. Very easy way where you can add new voices as well. We have added this new feature that is coming it's in closed beta, where you can add new words and their pronunciations. So one of the things about games is that you may have like very interesting names that may have crazy pronunciations, and you want the character to understand them, but also pronounce it correctly, right? So you can add all these things in there. So which is the voice in, voice out part. Then you have taken the voice in, voice out system, and you want to add a face and body to it. We are compatible with any avatar system, but we have already provided tutorials for Relution, MetaHuman, Ready Player Me, and our goal is to add more avatar systems there. We are avatar agnostic platform, where we are effectively being the mind of the character, but we still need to allow for easy integration with the face. Like, how does the lip sync happen? How does the facial expressions show as you speak? And also, as you see me, if you're seeing me, I'm moving my hands as I'm speaking in a logical manner. Those things need to happen as well, where the character will need to animate correctly as per the talking. Once you've integrated with the avatar, you basically wanted to put it in your environment, in your world. You use ideally most of the game engines. There's also JavaScript SDK. People use Omniverse as well. We provide all our plugins for that. We provide a whole host of ways for people to go, of course, have tutorials for them to make it super, super simple. We already support 4, but our goal is to like keep improving and adding more. It's very easy. It should take you no more than 10 minutes to take the character ID and add it to the plugin, and the character is live. You can take the character ID, add to that avatar, and the character should be working smoothly with your game development and game environment system. And then once you have put them inside the game world, then you would expect them to carry out different actions. You would say, hey, go there, pick that up, bring me that item, or take this thing and give it to my friend. It should be able to do all those things. For that, it needs to perceive the environment, right? So it needs to kind of know what are the different objects that are there that it can interact with. So it basically, we are taking that as scene metadata, right? It also can take scene triggers. However, one of the main thing is that while all of this is powered by large language models, LLMs are expensive and LLMs are relatively slow, although we have worked on the latency part for the conversation piece. So we want to use LLMs when higher order cognitive functions are required. The other parts, we can use the existing game mechanics or systems like behavior trees and state machines, right? However, if we are using both at the same time, we got to have a hybrid system, right? Where the LLM is invoked when there's a higher order cognitive function required, like conversation, right? Conversation is one of them. However, any kind of behavior generation, real-time behavior generation or action generation also requires the LLM to be to generate those things like action planning. There are infinite amount of things you can ask the character to do. If there are like 5 different objects, 2 different characters throughout a particular map, it's effectively infinite because you can say, hey, take this to that location and tell that to the character, do a certain thing. That's basically the pipeline of things that we offer, all the way from crafting the character to adding voice, integrating with the avatar, so it's making more and more real, and then deploying it into the game engines, and then getting them to perceive, making them a virtual robot effectively. This summarizes the developer journey for creating AI-based characters. If you're planning to take your Convai-based app or game to production, please reach out to us for applying for a partner or enterprise plan so we can support you better. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to join our Discord channel or reach out to us at support@convai.com. Thank you.